It is only 18 more days until the early access release of Planetside Arena, so it's time to talk about some basics. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Fable as usual, and today we're going to talk about some basics of Planetside Arena. What kind of game is it really? Because, well, it is releasing in only 18 days, but what are we playing? And from a high level overview, it is just a sci-fi shooter, like for example Halo. Historically, Planetside has been about never-ending battles with big servers. However though, that might sound cool in theory, but in practice it also brings some issues. So what Planetside Arena does, it goes back to the match-based systems with a defined beginning and a defined end of a match, and therefore there's a lot more focus on the action, on the shooting. While some elements are completely different from the Planetside franchise, some elements are the same. Planetside 2 always emphasized on the large-scale warfare, and that means not only a lot of players but also combined warfare with tanks and airplanes. Planetside Arena is promising more of this because they want to facilitate 1000-man battles. If you think about it, it sounds completely mental because, well, the other big games out there, for example Battlefield or Modern Warfare coming out soon, they will offer respectively 64 or 100-man battles. That, ladies and gentlemen, is peanuts compared to what Planetside Arena wants to offer, and therefore it is a really promising project. I do have to say the following though, and that is that in 2019, after the early access release, there won't be a 1000-man battle yet. That is promised for 2020 with the Massive Clash mode. Right now, in 18 days, the biggest game mode we will have will host 300 player battles, so still in comparison to, for example, Battlefield or Modern Warfare, it is way bigger. Moreover, playing in an active group has always been rewarding in Planetside. This will again be the case in Arena, because in this new game, you will have the large scale arena, but it will host multiple squads of 12. I think that having a team with clear communication and also good division of rules is key to dominating the battlefield. But while I'm talking about rules, I think it's also really important to mention that this will be a game with different classes. From the get-go, we will have 3 classes: the Assault, the Medic and the Engineer. All these classes have their own special abilities. For example, the Engineer, that one can place turrets and walls, the Medic can heal teammates, and the Assault has special movement abilities as well. The classes do not radically change gameplay, but they do definitely add an extra dimension to the gameplay, and it feels a lot more tactical if you fully utilize all your abilities. What all classes have in common though is that they all have access to their own jetpack and also to their own personal vehicle. The personal vehicles in the game, the Tempest and also the Squad Bike, work as a mount, so you can easily call them in and use them and also get rid of them, and after a small timer you can call in a new one again. Combine this with the jetpack and also the relatively high sprint speed and you have a very quick game. The mobility in the game is so important and makes sure there's a lot of action during the whole game. The first map we will be playing on is called Echoes of Amerish, and it is 64 square kilometers, and yes, that's pretty big, but thanks to the addition of the jetpacks, the personal vehicles, you still encounter a lot of teams. Furthermore, thanks to the high amount of players, it also solves a problem that many Battle Royale games have, a very boring mid-game. Simply due to the fact that this game will host battles with up to 300 guys, it makes it rather impossible to miss each other on the battlefield. I know the map is still pretty big, but you will hear each other, you will hear gunshots, you will hear people driving, you will hear people throwing grenades. All those things are happening, and it is pretty much impossible to not find any fights if you want to find fights. Probably, if you are a more passive player, you can still find your peace, you can still just take a minute of rest in the game. However though, if you want to find those fights, and I know there are some really aggressive players, especially streamers nowadays, they want to go for high kill games, crazy games, that is still possible. Thanks to having squads of 12 and also the high player number, I think it's finally possible to go to the next level of Battle Royale, something different, a new experience you haven't had before. Right now, retro games and remasters are getting really popular, and I think that's mainly because people are waiting for the next big thing. And if you ask me, this hybrid between Team Deathmatch and also Battle Royale is something that might change the landscape of gaming. The bigger question though right now is, where can I get this game and where can I play? Right now, on the 19th of September, this will be an exclusive on the Steam platform. You can't buy it in Epic, you can't buy it in the Windows Store, you'll have to buy this game on Steam. And yes, I said buy, because unlike its brother, Planetside 2, this won't be a free-to-play game. Right now, during the early access phase, you have to pay $20 for the Recruit Edition and $50 for the Legendary Edition. And well, the big difference between the Legendary and the Recruit Edition is that the Legendary Edition actually got 2 keys, so you can give one to your friend, but also it will have 1 extra special skin. Both editions will also come with crates, and more about these crates in a later video. For now, the game is only available on PC, but in 2020 the game will also come to PS4 and Xbox One. That is still future music for now, but it is something we're going to talk about in the roadmap video tomorrow. But for now, I do think you know enough about Planetside Arena, you know the basics. And that is me, that is Faber1, and I will see you soon with some more content.